Bodine52, how are you folks? Hope you are well. Today I want to talk about the generational gap that became really evident to me when I was sitting at a little pub having a sandwich. And I also want to tell you about the mushroom story. Hello friends, hope this video finds you and your family well. I am out and about today, just stopped and had a nice little lunch, and really wanted to talk to you about kind of the things that I heard while sitting at a bar next to two young ladies that I would assume are in college. And then I got to tell you about mushrooms. Oh my gosh, mushrooms. Alright, so here goes. If you watched a couple of my past videos, you'll know that I stopped and had lunch without Mrs. Bodine because she was out of town. Hi guys. And when I went into this place, I just sat up at the bar. I thought it'd be easier than sitting at a table, and there were these two young ladies sitting next to me. Just said hi when I sat down, really nice, blah, 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 right? And I'm watching the football game, made my order, having a water, and they start to talk about dogs and Snapchat and Snapchatting pictures of dogs. And honestly, I didn't get the full story because, one, I didn't necessarily want to eavesdrop into somebody. Two, I was watching the game. And three, they had some really nasty food. So we're going to tie both of these stories together. Here's how it goes. A lot of bikes out today. Years ago, this is my first stint moving to Pennsylvania. Mrs. Bodine and I, actually we were living in Baltimore at the time. We're going to relocate to Pennsylvania, eastern Pennsylvania. And first time we went out with a realtor, we were supposed to see 7 houses. And the first house, they picked us up. We had breakfast. They picked us up. We go into this nice neighborhood. And the first house we get out to see, next door there was a house being built. It looked like a nice little neighborhood. And we get out, and we're getting out of the realtor's car. And I'm like, what's that smell? He's like, what smell? And Mrs. Bodine is like, oh my God, what is that? The guy goes, are you talking about mushrooms? I'm like, dude, I don't know what it is. What's that smell? He goes, oh, that's mushrooms. I'm like, what about mushrooms? And he's going to explain to me that mushrooms, he says that Pennsylvania is the capital of mushrooms. Whether that's the truth or not, I don't know. And make a long story short, he's trying to convince us that we should live close to these mushroom farms that are all over in that area. I'm like, oh my God, it's awful. I'm like, I don't want a house that was by this. And Mrs. Bodine is like, can we have this conversation inside, please? Because it smells so bad. So, of course, we go inside the house, and the guy's like, look, there's, it's not bad when the wind's blowing the other way. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? I'm like, no. No mushroom farms close to where I'm going to live. He goes, well, that means that the first 4 houses of the 7 we're going to see today are out. And I'm like, well, we should go to house number 5 then. So, fast forward, we buy a house, relocate, move into the neighborhood. 2 guys down the street, or 2 houses down the street, we meet the neighbors. And by the way, I'm trying to tie this off into these 2 girls that are sitting at the bar, and they are eating a plate full of mushrooms. Got cheese and crap all over it, and they're big, right? They're mushrooms. Freaking mushrooms. So we meet these neighbors that are 2 doors down. We're sitting on our back deck with them. We invite them over. They're introducing each other. We're just talking about where we came from. I think by this time we had a drink, maybe 1 beer, right? And so I start telling the same story I'm telling you. And I'm like, mushrooms, it stunk so bad. Neither one of us like mushrooms. We hate them. We think they're nasty. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm just laying it on, man, about how bad mushrooms are. So I'm telling them, and I'm like, so, we didn't look at like 4 houses because of the mushroom smell. They're nasty. And the guy says to me, quote, I guess we're not at that point yet of me telling you what I do for a living. And I'm going, no, I guess not. And he said, yeah, my last name is Giorgio. We own all the mushroom farms in eastern Pennsylvania. Take out mouth, take out foot, take out foot, insert mouth. Oh, and I'm like, oh, I guess it's a good time for me to get up and get us another drink. So, the mushroom story. That is the mushroom story. We hate mushrooms. You may like mushrooms, we think they're nasty. So these girls were talking and having mushrooms, and I'll tell you what, try not to eat fast, but I ate fast and got the hell out of there because mushrooms are nasty. Right, Mrs. Bodine? So, before I left, the bartender comes up, and she's 25 maybe. She's nice. Service was good. Food was fantastic, again, as it usually is there at Cleary's Pub in Chelsea, Michigan. I'll put a link to that below. They also have a second one of those. I believe it's in Howell, Michigan. So if you're looking for a cool place, it's awesome. And she comes up and she says, "Hey, it's really been great to serve you today, and have a groovy day." And I'm like, "You too." So and then I pull up to get gas, and some young kid pulls like right next to me, so nobody can get out, gets out, goes into the gas station. And I'm just like, some of our generation surely has changed. And, maybe I'm not bashing on the millennials at all. My kids are that. And they're awesome. And times change and people change, but what happened to the Mr. and Sir and have a nice day and open the door for people? And I don't know, but that is my story of the day. Is there anything that's happened to you that made you realize that maybe the generation that you are is a little bit different than other folks? And you got to tell me, do you like mushrooms? Because I think they're nasty. All right, folks, that's it for today. This is Bodine52. Thanks for checking into the channel. If you liked the video, please give it a big like. If you are not a subscriber and you like the content, we'd love to have you at the Bodine52 family. Have a great rest of the day, great rest of the week. Be safe, hug a loved one, and make sure that you're safe both on and off the motorcycle. Bye-bye, folks.